First on the Gulf Coast with breaking news and weather. Fox 10 Midday starts now.
Well, good morning to you and welcome into Fox 10 Midday. It's officially December 1st. Thanks for tuning in wherever you are today. I'm Ashlyn Mitchell.
And I'm meteorologist Nicholas Herboso. We're going to start with the forecast.
Okay.
And a gloomy
It's very gray, very dreary.
Yeah, and
today.
it's a little cool.
Yeah.
Depends on where you are. Our folks inland are actually a little bit cooler.
Okay.
That's going to be the trend through the day today. So chilly with rain showers increasing late in the day. So
I did turn my heat on this morning.
yes,
so.
that's going to be needed. Also grab the rain gear for the commute home. So here's what the big picture looks like. I have a few things that I want to point out here. So we have the rain that's off to our west. And that's a big thing because that's moving on in. But also, and it's hard to see here in the imagery, but we do have a low pressure system. You can already start to see a little bit of a spin here that's going on just off to the south. And this is going to be something that we watch as, woo, that went everywhere. That moves off to the north and comes towards us. So we'll see an increase in rain chances a little later on. Here are what your rain chances looks like over the next 10 hours. We could see some early showers. This 90% sprinkles. So not a significant one, but really after 3 p.m. I think the rain chances ramp up here. Here's what it looks like in Futurecast. This is kind of a better view, a better thing to look at. So mostly cloudy for us to start. Then we have this band that moves inland. This could bring us a chance for scattered showers. No thunder through the afternoon. This is the evening time. Even with this batch, I do not anticipate any thunder really with that. 7 p.m. rain starts to fill in everywhere. Where is the thunder? Well, it's just off to our south here. If I were to move this, you see these thunderstorms that are just offshore. That's something that we're going to keep an eye on here as we go through the forecast overnight tonight. Could those thunderstorms move on land? Otherwise, the rain continues into the morning hours on our Tuesday. If those thunderstorms get on land, there is a marginal risk of severe weather for the coastal areas. Can't rule out an isolated tornado, but that's if the thunderstorms even get to the land. And I don't think they will based on recent forecast models, but that could change. We'll keep you updated. Then rain chances. This is not the only one. So here's our Monday night rain chance. And then another rain chance comes into the picture at the end of the forecast, Thursday and Friday. And it is a healthy rain chance. So good news there. This is what it looks like in the 4-day outlook, kind of giving you what it looks like in between now and then. So we talked about the big rain chance at the end of the week. In between, cold air. How about a freeze in Mobile for Wednesday morning? Chilly temperatures are on the way. I'll have the details in your forecast coming up.
Winter weather can always be impactful, but this is definitely one for the books.
Happening now, winter weather continues to hinder travelers coming back from their Thanksgiving destinations. Forecasters say a new storm system is taking shape today in the Mid-South, near where Arkansas, Louisiana, and Texas meet. They predict snow in much of the northeastern U.S. this week and heavy rain south of there. This system follows a previous one that snarled travel over the weekend. Indiana police say 45 vehicles were in this pileup Saturday with no major injuries, thankfully. Delta says no one was hurt when this plane slid off an Iowa runway yesterday. FlightAware reporting roughly 12,000 delays and 1,000 U.S. cancellations just yesterday. It says Chicago's O'Hare Airport was the hardest hit.
We were pushed back because it was delayed for a couple of hours. Then we were able to get another flight. That one was delayed like another 30 minutes to an hour.
Now, FlightAware says the busiest airport in the world racked up delays too, even though Atlanta didn't receive any snow. In the meantime, lawmakers on both sides of the aisle say Congress should review the U.S. military strikes on alleged drug trafficking boats, following a report that accuses the Pentagon chief of violating the laws of war. Fox's Rebecca Castor has the very latest now from Washington.
Since September, the U.S. military has killed at least 83 suspected drug traffickers in 21 known strikes on alleged drug boats in international waters. But a September 2nd mission is facing new scrutiny after a Washington Post report claimed a second strike was ordered after it became clear there were survivors in the water. Military officers say they were following a directive from War Secretary Pete Hegseth to, quote, kill everybody.
I don't think he would be foolish enough to make this decision to say, kill everybody, kill the survivors, because that's a clear violation of the law of war. So let's get the facts.
Hegseth calls the report fake news, and President Donald Trump is standing by him.
I have great confidence.
You say there's no second strike?
I don't know. I'm going to find out about it, but Pete said he did not order the death of those two men.
But lawmakers want answers.
We'll have public hearings. We'll put people under oath. We need to get to the bottom of this. He should not be in this position. He should have been fired after Signalgate, and now he should be fired again for this, if this is accurate.
The U.S. military action has raised tensions with Venezuela, and President Trump announced Saturday the country's airspace should be considered closed. But he's downplaying any questions of an imminent air attack.
Don't read anything into it.
President Trump also confirmed he spoke with Venezuela's leader, Nicolas Maduro, over the phone, but he won't share any details or confirm reporting that he gave Maduro an ultimatum to leave the country immediately. In Washington, Rebecca Castor, Fox News.
Well, the U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals finds President Donald Trump's former personal lawyer, Alina Habba, is disqualified from serving as U.S. Attorney for New Jersey. A panel of judges from the Third U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals sitting in Philadelphia sided with a lower court judge's ruling. This after hearing oral arguments at which Habba herself was present on October 20th. Now, the ruling comes amid the push by President Trump's administration to keep Habba as the acting U.S. Attorney for New Jersey after the judges questioned the government's moves to keep Habba in place after her interim appointment expired and without her getting Senate confirmation. Now, the Habba case comes after several people charged with federal crimes in New Jersey challenged the legality of Habba's tenure. In the meantime, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu greeted by protesters as he arrived to testify at his corruption trial just one day after asking Israeli President Isaac Herzog for a pardon. It's an unprecedented request. Netanyahu says it's needed to unify the country and end the political distraction of his long-running corruption probe, which started almost a decade ago. He also noted President Trump recently made the same request to Herzog and called the case, quote, political.
President Trump called for the immediate conclusion of the trial so that I can work together with him to advance vital interests shared by Israel and the United States.
However, the request has already triggered a significant public backlash, and it also faces legal challenges, with most experts pointing out that under Israeli law, a pardon can't stop a trial without an admission of guilt. And in your global headlines this morning, some Hong Kong residents are calling for an independent investigation into the massive fire that killed 146 people and then left thousands more homeless. The fire broke out Wednesday in a public housing complex in a suburb of Hong Kong. 7 of 8 towers were impacted by the huge blaze, which burned until Friday when it was fully extinguished. Police examining 4 of the burned buildings over the weekend and determined 100 people are still missing and 79 others are also injured. Well, a couple is accused of using spy cams and other tech to cheat an Australian casino out of more than $1 million. Organized crime units say the couple traveled to Sydney from Kazakhstan to visit the casino a number of times in October and November. Officers say the two used small magnetized probes to secretly capture images. Police also say the couple used deep-seated earpieces and even customized cell phones to transmit information about placing bets. Well, they allegedly won more than $1.1 million over several visits. The couple was in court Friday and was refused bail. Well, back at home, more information is emerging about the suspect in last week's shooting of 2 National Guard soldiers just blocks from the White House. The suspect is 29-year-old Afghan national who once worked with the CIA. U.S. officials believe he may have been radicalized since coming to the U.S. in 2021.
We do believe it was through connections in his home community and state, and we're going to continue to talk to those who interacted with him, who were his family members, talk to them. So far, we've had some participation, but anyone who has information on this needs to know that we will be coming after you and we will bring you to justice.
A new report out from the Associated Press says the alleged gunman had been, quote, unraveling for years. The suspect is currently facing first-degree murder for the attack that killed 20-year-old Sarah Beckstrom and left 24-year-old Andrew Wolf in critical condition. In the meantime, Luigi Mangione, the man accused in the murder of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson, was back in a New York City courtroom this morning for a set of hearings as he and his attorneys tried to block the use of certain pieces of evidence during trial. Among them, a 9mm handgun and a notebook found in Mangione's backpack. The defense argues police did not have a search warrant, meaning those items should be excluded from the trial. The defense is also asking the judge to exclude some of Mangione's statements to police because they claim officers started asking questions before telling him he had the right to remain silent. And we are currently learning more about a Thanksgiving Day rescue of a 12-year-old girl. Fire officials in the Woodlands say the girl had been digging a hole on a sandbar when it collapsed on top of her. She ended up trapped in the sand. Her father was able to clear the sand around her head so she could breathe until crews arrived on the scene. Responders from 4 agencies were able to clear the sand and save the girl, who was thankfully unharmed. She was released to her parents after a medical evaluation. And in local news, the Florida Highway Patrol is investigating after a crash claimed the life of an unborn child. Investigators say the tragic accident happened yesterday morning on Highway 29 in Escambia County. According to the Florida Highway Patrol, the 17-year-old driver was in a pickup truck and was trying to make a left turn onto Neal Road and ended up hitting a truck being driven by a 21-year-old pregnant woman with a male passenger. FHP says the teenager and woman remain in serious condition this morning, and the names of the victims have not yet been released. And right now, you are taking a look at the scene at Hillcrest and Cottage Hill Road Saturday evening in Mobile. Mobile police say the crash involved at least 2 vehicles, but thankfully no major injuries. Right now, the cause of this wreck is unknown as MPD continues to investigate the accident. It's 11:11 now on your Monday. Straight ahead on Fox 10 Midday, shoppers are expected to spend big this Cyber Monday. We're breaking down the numbers after the break. Nick, not a bad day to stay inside and get some shopping done for sure.
Especially this evening when the rain rolls in. Now, overnight tonight, we do have the potential for some thunderstorms. Take a look at it here. The severe weather outlook highlighting Northwest Florida and also southern Baldwin County for the potential for some thunderstorms. I think the odds are very, very low. We'll have details and a look at the forecast models coming.
Welcome back. Right now, consumers are filling their digital carts for Cyber Monday, capping a record-setting kickoff to the holiday shopping season. The National Retail Federation estimates a record 185 million people will have shopped in some form between Thanksgiving and today. Fox Business correspondent Kelly Sabry has the story.
It's the next best thing to hit Santa's sleigh, a conveyor belt filled with holiday packages. Here at Gap Inc.'s largest distribution center, the company is turning to automation to make packing this season's orders efficient and safer.
It also helps us and the team actually learn more skill sets as well with the automation. They become automation specialists, systems techs, and gives them great career opportunities.
And despite concerns about the economy, people are hungry for post-Thanksgiving discounts. Adobe Analytics predicts Americans will spend $14.2 billion during Cyber Monday, with items like TVs and apparel all significantly marked down. On Black Friday, online sales topped nearly $12 billion.
It's only going to get worse, so you got to come in before everybody else. You don't have to wait as long.
This year, more and more shoppers are turning to buy now, pay later plans to delay payments on decor and gifts. According to Adobe, that trend could drive more than $20 billion in online spending this holiday season.
If you have a plan and you know how you're going to pay it down and it fits within your budget, buy now, pay later can be a useful tool.
And as the shopping rush gets underway, experts warn that scammers know right where to find you.
If you're seeing promises of 60, 70, 80% off, that's, if it's too good to be true, it is. Probably should not click on that link or open that email.
The National Retail Federation estimates sales for November and December will top $1 trillion for the first time on record. In Groveport, Ohio, Kelly Sabary, Fox Business.
And Fox 10's Sarah Wall is taking a more in-depth look at some of those Cyber Monday deals, the predictions for what to expect today, and we are talking to the experts about how to stay safe while shopping online, not only today, but throughout the entire holiday season. In Depth with Sarah Wall, Cyber Monday Safety is available for you right now on our Fox 10 Facebook page and, of course, the Fox 10 Gulfstream TV app. Remember, you can always join that conversation on the Fox 10 Facebook page, live each weekday at 9 a.m.
11:18 is your time now. This is Crab Island, Destin. You can see the bridge there, Destin, and that is a gloomy picture. A very gloomy picture there. It's also a little dark, too. It is daytime, I promise. That's what it looks like outside right now. Big headlines, widespread rain overnight tonight into Tuesday morning with some coastal thunderstorms possible. Destin is one of those locations that could see a rumble of thunder, even though I think the odds of it are extremely low. More rain comes at the end of the week, and in between, some very chilly air. So let's talk about it. Let's start with the severe weather outlook. This is the severe weather outlook today into tonight. Technically lasts until early on our Tuesday morning, and that's it. This is a marginal risk for a very small portion of the Fox 10 viewing area. Very, very small portion here. You can see southern Baldwin and our northwest Florida counties. This is a highly conditional threat. I honestly don't think we will see much out of this. For the most part, it is going to be a cool rain for the entire Fox 10 viewing area. You see that here. Anywhere you see the color, that is where we could have some thunderstorms. And you'll notice that in this forecast model, which is a very good forecast model, all that color stays well offshore. So there is, in this forecast model, no severe weather that happens over our area. But could that boundary be farther to the north? It is possible. So we'll keep an eye on that. Check in with Jason this evening to get an update on that forecast. But rain chances do go up this evening. Temperatures will be in the 50s. It is going to be a cool rain for much of the Fox 10 viewing area. Then looking at the forecast model HRRR in closer detail here, we could have some afternoon showers that get going. But again, the rain showers, no thunder here. 6 p.m. you can see the showers along the coast. Another round passes through, and then everything kind of fills out overnight. And then it's kind of off to the races for the overnight rain chance. It is not going to be heavy everywhere. For a lot of this is going to be some light rain, but enough to get a good soaking down. Could be very useful. Then this clears out, switching to the GFS forecast model. Wednesday is dry and chilly, very chilly. In fact, a freeze Wednesday morning. Then Thursday, another round of rain comes through. It's a very similar story. A low pressure system moves right over our area, and it's kind of a trailing boundary, so it gives us waves of rain. And that lasts into Friday and Saturday as well. So we could have some helpful rainfall here. So around 2 inches from the first round, then it gets us up to around another couple inches, so almost 5 by the end of the day. This is the GFS forecast model with future rainfall. Could be very useful for our area. All right, switching gears and talking about what happens in between our true rain chances. Look at the morning temperature, 32 degrees. On Wednesday morning. So that is going to be our coldest morning. As we've cleared out, you'll see temperatures, in fact, 29 degrees in Grove Hill, 30 in Monroeville, 30 in Evergreen, 31 Bruton. So freeze pretty much all the way down to Interstate 10. Be ready for that on your Wednesday. Then Thursday, Friday, heads up, we have another rain chance coming in there. Severe weather is not expected with that one. And then we clear out at the end of the weekend.
All right, Nick, thank you. 11:21 on your Monday now. Coming up, have you gotten your Christmas tree yet? Our Stephen Moody visited Fish River Farms this morning and explains how to pick out the perfect one when we come back. Welcome back. It's hard to believe we are just 24 days away from Christmas. And of course, that means families are on the hunt for the perfect tree. Fox 10 Stephen Moody has more from Fish River Christmas Tree Farms on how families are making the most of the opportunity.
Following the Thanksgiving holiday, it is now all hands on deck as we get closer to Christmas. And that means for people who are looking for that perfect Christmas tree, they're heading to places like here at the Fish River Christmas Tree Farm, where every year is another year added on to a tradition.
Well, here come all these people and you go, oh my goodness, look what they're coming to pick up something that I created.
Another year means another farm full of Christmas trees waiting for the perfect home. Fish River Trees has been one of the best providers of live trees for decades, and it brings them joy to know that families choose them.
When somebody cuts down one of the trees that I grew here, that puts a big smile on my face and in my heart, because I'm creating a product that they came to get, and they're taking it into their home and decorating the product I created.
As usual, their busiest day was the day after Thanksgiving, but Monday they were treated to some special guests from the city of Foley who hand-selected trees to be placed in their park.
Part of me and part of what we created is in that park for people to celebrate around. Yeah, that's a special feeling. I love it. I think what they do is really nice.
And it's all about building tradition.
I would say 2 out of every 3 of our customers, maybe 3 out of 4, are return customers. They just come back, and it creates a tradition for that family as the kids grow up, and then sometimes they have their own kids and they start bringing their kids out.
And we have more on their schedule over on our website at fox10tv.com. Reporting here in Summerdale, Stephen Moody, Fox 10 News.
All right, Stephen, thank you. That Christmas tree farm is a part of our tradition every single year. We love going out there. Well, Thanksgiving is over, and as we just saw, it is time to put up those Christmas trees and decorations. But beware, a doctor with the Cleveland Clinic says decorating for the holiday comes with some potential risks for injury. Urgent care physician Dr. Alan Kappen says the most common injury while people decorate is falls. He says many people will stand on unstable furniture or a ladder without a spotter or climb up one that's not placed correctly. Kappen says many patients also come in for cuts from objects like broken light bulbs, and he says it's important to stretch before lifting something heavy like Christmas trees or a box of decorations, because he frequently sees people for strains and sprains during the holiday season. He urges decorators to also be mindful and avoid causing fires. And Kappen adds you should place candles in glass and far away from anything flammable, and to avoid overloading circuits because natural trees can catch on fire easily. If someone hits their head, Kappen says to pay attention to their symptoms and, of course, seek that medical help if necessary. Some great reminders there as we enter the Christmas season. It's 11:27 on your Monday now. Still to come, we are taking a look at your business headlines. Plus, it's safe to assume allergies aren't on your holiday wish list this year. We are taking a look at this season's allergy triggers and how your tree could even be the culprit when we come back here on Fox 10 Midday.
Committed to you. This is Fox 10 Midday.
Welcome back. Now it's time for your half-hour headlines. Millions of SNAP food benefit recipients may soon have to meet new work rules to keep up with their benefits. The Republican-backed Big Beautiful Bill now requires at least 80 hours of activity each month for a much wider group of people. A Congressional Budget Office report says that will mean 2.4 million fewer people getting benefits on average each month. States are now reporting confusion, rushed timelines, and technology systems not ready to implement the change. As a result, some residents could lose food aid as soon as January. State officials warn the full impact will unfold as recipients hit their next recertification deadlines. And then South Florida's Alex Golesh is taking over the reins for the Tigers. He led the Bulls to 23 wins over the last 3 seasons, including a 9-3 mark in 2025. Golesh arrives at the tail end of Auburn's 5th straight losing season. The Tigers just finished the 2025 season in the Iron Bowl with a loss to Alabama by a final score of 27-20. And finally, Auburn wasn't the only SEC school hiring a new head coach. 4 other schools, including LSU. This is Lane Kiffin arriving in Baton Rouge as he prepares for his new head coaching position job at LSU. Kiffin announced via social media that he accepted this position, and he did say his request to continue to coach Ole Miss through the playoffs was denied by Ole Miss athletic director Keith Carter. Ole Miss is hiring Pete Golding to replace Kiffin, Arkansas hiring former Memphis coach Ryan Silverfield, and Florida hired Tulane head coach John Summerall. Kentucky fired Mark Stoops late last night, but have yet to make a hire. Just a wild weekend in the sports world for sure. Well, let's take a look now at your business news. The Supreme Court hears a case involving music piracy. Home ownership and the likelihood of it affects spending behavior. And finally, the Powerball jackpot only grows. Here's Fox's CJ Papa.
The Supreme Court will hear a case over Cox Communications' liability for music piracy. Major record labels accuse Cox of enabling users to pirate music. A 2019 jury ordered Cox to pay $1 billion in damages, finding the company secondarily liable for its users' piracy. Last year, an appeals court threw out that verdict and called for a new trial. Cox is now appealing that, arguing it should not be held responsible for the actions of individual users. Homeownership and the likelihood of it affects how people spend and how much they spend. PhD candidates at Northwestern and the University of Chicago say today's longer path to homeownership pushes people toward high-variance assets with big upside like cryptocurrency. The study also finds renters who say homeownership is out of reach spend 10% more on credit cards than homeowners with the same net worth. The study is published online at the Social Science Research Network. And the Powerball jackpot has climbed to $740 million after no one won Saturday. The estimated cash value, $346.1 million. There hasn't been a Powerball jackpot winner since September, when two people split the $1.79 billion top prize. The next drawing is Monday night. That's business. CJ Papa, Fox News.
Right now, many of us on the Gulf Coast are breathing a sigh of relief as the 2025 Atlantic hurricane season officially ends. The season ended yesterday. There were a total of 13 named storms, 5 hurricanes, and 4 major hurricanes. This was fairly in line with what federal forecasters predicted, and there were a total of 3 Category 5 hurricanes, the second most on record in a single season. This season also marked the first time in a decade that a hurricane did not make landfall in the U.S., but tropical systems did still impact some areas on the mainland. All in all, it had been a relatively quiet hurricane season until Hurricane Melissa tore through the Caribbean in late October.
And we are glad that hurricane season is over. We'll turn the page to next year. All right, let's look outside right now. This is the Fairhope Pier. Really looking good out there. It's a little cool. It's a little gloomy. Jacket and walk along the bay wouldn't be bad at this time. Now, later on this afternoon is going to get a little bit more active. So let's talk about this forecast here. We do have a chance for rain later on today. We're actually already starting to see some development just offshore here. You see those little rain showers. That's going to push in by 3 p.m. based on most forecast models. It looks like we start to see some of the rain moving in. Let's talk temperatures real quick. We're all in the 50s. 57 in Pensacola, 55 in Fairhope, 55 at Mobile Regional Airport. So a very chilly kind of feel, very gloomy kind of feel. It feels like a winter day. And this is a very kind of winter-like system that's passing across our area. Forecast highs today, you see a little bit of a gradient here. 64, 63 in Navarre and Destin versus 59 and 57 in Grove Hill and Chatham. That is going to be the gradient for the forecast in the near term. Northwest Florida has the potential to be a little bit milder, but all of our inland spots are going to be cooler, especially north and west of Interstate 65. It's a cool rain that happens tonight. In fact, here are rain chances going up here. 5 p.m., 7 p.m., 8 p.m., 9 p.m. It's just up. Rain chance kind of fill in, all the rain showers fill in, I should say there. Then looking at the coast, our area that's a little milder, there is a warm front that's going to be sitting just offshore. If, that is a big if, that warm front can advance all the way on land, then we have the potential for a couple of stronger storms. That is the biggest if of the century, but with the odds of it being possible, even on the table, the Storm Prediction Center has decided to go with a marginal risk, so just a heads up. Have the Fox 10 weather app. You'll get alerts if any are issued, so problem solved there. Here's what the model looks like. This is Monday at 3 p.m. and you can see the showers rolling inland, and then everything kind of fills in. I have another round around 7 o'clock, and then it is just go time with numerous showers, the thunderstorms offshore you can see there, and then 3 a.m., 3:30 a.m., the showers continue. It'll be periods of moderate rain and light rain, but a chilly rain for most of us. In fact, overnight tonight, some folks getting rain and temperatures in the 40s, 43 degrees in Grove Hill, 45 in Chatham. That's with rain tomorrow morning. Then 49 in Mobile. You can see the slightly milder air closer to the coast, 59 in Destin. Then looking at the forecast for tomorrow, Isolated morning storms, or showers, that should really say, and then clearing in the afternoon. And the clearing will be probably quick. We might see some sunshine by the end of the day. All right, download that Fox 10 weather app. Download the Fox 10 weather app just in case we have any alerts that are issued this evening or overnight tonight. You can get those alerts. Just scan the QR code or head to the App Store. It is a free download and you can track the storms yourself.
All right, Nick, thank you. Well, doctors say the most wonderful time of the year should be filled with carols and tidings of joy, not cough, sneezing, and other allergy symptoms. But from Christmas tree syndrome to pet dander and much more, health experts cite the seasonal triggers that should wind up on the naughty list. Fox News correspondent Marian Rafferty takes a closer look at how to possibly find some relief.
While the saying goes, there's no place like home for the holidays, many of our dwellings could be hosting a slew of seasonal allergens.
So the more time we spend indoors, especially as the temperatures get colder, the most common indoor allergens are typically dust mite, and then of course your animals like pets.
According to Dr. Victoria Wynn of The Ohio State University, even your tree could be an allergy trigger.
So there's something called Christmas tree syndrome, and it is related to when you pick up a fresh Christmas tree from the farm, there are mold spores in there that are dormant. The molds typically are dormant when the temperatures are cold. And then as you bring the Christmas tree indoors and there's more humidity and warmth, it can actually activate mold spores. You can also get symptoms from artificial products, like artificial trees or your decorations in the home if they've been stored in areas where dust might accumulate.
Allergy symptoms can vary, but most people experience
runny nose, itchy eyes, sneezing, congestion as well.
There's also a variety of different treatment options.
The first would be avoidance measures, where we would want to know what you're allergic to so that we can try to modify behaviors either at home or in the environment to help prevent exposures. Medications would be the next step. And then the third option would be immunotherapy.
Allergens aside, the cold air this season can also cause negative reactions, including runny noses and hives. I'm Marianne Rafferty, Fox News.
And we have a Fox 10 safety alert for you this morning. Silvestri Sweets is recalling 2 Chocker holiday barks because they may contain undeclared allergens. The recall applies to the Chocker branded cookie butter holiday bark and the pecan, cranberry, and cinnamon holiday bark. The company says the pecan, cranberry, and cinnamon holiday bark may contain undeclared wheat, while the cookie butter holiday bark may contain undeclared pecans. They were both in 5-ounce packages, and the products were sold nationwide at Aldi stores. So far, no illnesses have been reported in connection with this recall. Customers should throw away the products immediately. In the meantime, many Americans are paying less to fill up the tank. The national average for a gallon of gas was $2.99 as of November 29th. That's according to Gas Buddy's online tracker. That is the lowest the average has been in 4 years, by the way. Officials at Gas Buddy say all 50 states saw a drop over the past week, which they say is a rarity. Among the factors causing the overall decline, lower crude oil costs, record oil production in the U.S., and improvements made to refinery outputs. And here are your average gas prices locally on your screen. According to AAA, Mobile County average gas price is $2.59. Over in Baldwin County, you can expect to pay slightly higher at $2.63. Washington County has the highest average price at $2.87 a gallon, and the state of Alabama's average is $2.66 overall. Not bad there. Well, coming up, the White House is showing off its Christmas decorations. We'll show them to you. Plus, some penguins at the London Zoo are getting into the holiday spirit. Nick and I will have your midday talkers next. Okay, welcome back. Listen to this. Rage bait was named Oxford University's Word of the Year for 2025.
That's described as a feeling a person gets when reading something online that appears to purposely incite anger or get a reaction.
A lot of that for sure. According to the UK-based dictionary, the use of rage bait tripled in 2025.
More than 30,000 people voted to help choose the Word of the Year.
Aura Farming and Biohack were the two other finalists.
Aura farming is the act of cultivating an appearance of effortlessness, which is not what I'm doing right now, charisma or coolness.
I was
Hi,
going to say,
George.
Nick, do you have that? Aura
Sorry,
Farming.
if you're hearing noise, George is on a ladder back in the studio. Anyways, this is a word that I've heard a few times.
Yeah.
And then this one I'm less familiar with.
Yeah, biohack refers to the practice of making changes to your body or lifestyle to improve your health. Something I need to start doing.
Okay, now I think about this, maybe I have heard this a couple of times.
I haven't heard biohack. I have heard of aura farming.
Yes.
Multiple times. For sure. I'm glad it wasn't 6-7 like the other.
Yeah, we don't need that. We
don't need to go down that road. Well, some penguins at the London Zoo are counting down the days until Christmas.
These Humboldt penguins were seen checking out an advent calendar filled with their favorite treat, a small fish instead of chocolate.
The calendar is part of the zoo's Magic at Christmas festivities.
Humboldt penguins are notoriously clumsy on land.
I have heard that. In the water, they're much more graceful, swimming at speeds of up to 30 miles an hour.
Wow, originally from Chile and Peru, Humboldt penguins are facing dwindling numbers in the wild.
Oh, these furry little guys are currently considered a threatened species, but they're cute. Look at them.
They do waddle, don't they?
I love how they're choosing out their Advent pick of the day. So fun, so many different ways to do that. Have you ever done a countdown calendar to Christmas?
I actually have not. I don't know why I haven't.
Really?
You should
do
listen,
that this year.
That takes forethought. That I like.
Oh my! Nick's too busy for the Advent calendar. Maybe I should bring one to the studio. Maybe we could do one every day.
Yes, it's
that
December
might be
1.
fun.
It'll work.
Sometimes they have chocolate as an option, tea.
I've seen socks ones before.
Socks are fun. Okay, I'm gonna do some looking. We'll get back to you on that one. Well, the White House is also getting in the holiday spirit.
Take a look at the 2025 White House Christmas decorations.
America 250 is featured in the theme for the East Room.
It is the national organization charged by Congress with planning the 250th anniversary of the United States.
The upcoming 250th anniversary of the signing of the Declaration of Independence, by the way, will be celebrated through the room's decorations and concept highlighting America, our home.
Some of the decor features patriotic colors of our flag and America's national symbols, including custom eagle toppers and tree boxes and the Great Seal.
I'm loving it. I see a lot of blue,
It is a lot of
year.
blue. That's the president's own.
It is beautiful, though.
Yeah, that is a lot of blue.
It is a ton of blue.
The light color choice, the LED.
You know
like
what?
The LED.
They're interesting. I like it. It's different than what you usually see.
It's not a warm light. I am very intrigued.
I usually like the warmer lights, but for some reason I feel like this fits, you know? It's like a
there's
compliment.
the model.
This is how I wish my house would look during the Christmas season. This is how it does
I told
not
myself
look.
I would get here, but again.
Have you decorated yet?
Kind of, not really.
Kind of. I haven't even started. We're trying to get our tree
slow.
today.
I am really slow.
I'm slow this year.
I can always tell what mood I'm in seasonally by how quick I am to get Christmas decorating, and
I'm really behind this year. Usually I have my tree and everything up by now, but it's been one of those years for sure. Right now you're taking a live look outside, Nick.
Dauphin
Where are we
Island.
looking?
This is Dauphin Island. We have a little bit of northerly wind, cool temperatures, and even a few raindrops falling there. A final look at the forecast.
Well, the holiday season is all about giving back, and tomorrow is known as Giving Tuesday, a chance for everyone, young and old, to showcase their generosity. In today's Take a Look at This, Patrick Cornell introduces us to two inspiring people who prove that kindness has no age limit.
Pushing carts full of cans and getting his hands dirty, 4-year-old Easton is working hard to collect cash. Why?
For the doggies!
Yes, for the doggies. What started as a school project has turned into a passion project.
He chose to help the Doggies. The doggies. Get them off home.
Easton and his family have been gathering up bottles and cans, turning them into big bucks for the Canine Stray Rescue of Oxford, Michigan.
Without the help of the community and families like Easton, we can't do what we do.
Easton's generosity is infectious. Local businesses catching on and donating to the cause as well.
And so it's just been beautiful. It's almost like that domino effect.
We've kind of dubbed it here at Canine the kindness train because it just keeps chugging along.
Easton has collected at least $2,000 he'll give to the
Doggies
on Giving Tuesday. They might be separated in age by more than 80 years, but Easton and our next role model share that giving spirit. At 85 years old, Harold Sauter, known as Coach, is a beloved, hardworking figure at the Second Harvest Food Bank of Central Florida.
You're moving boxes, you're moving pallets. He's doing all of that twice a week.
Instead of kicking back in retirement, Harold is giving back.
I'm not just going to go sit somewhere, and drink beer, or I'm not going to go take cruises everywhere. I'm going to go try to help people.
The Air Force veteran has chalked up more than 1,300 hours of volunteer work, bringing energy and big smiles to the gig. Doing so alongside his wife of 57 years, Lorna, who lovingly says Harold hasn't hit a 10 on her scale.
Probably a 9.
Always room to improve.
For Take a Look at This, I'm Patrick Cornell.
I love that. Truly what the season is all about.
Yep. All right, let's go ahead and get a look at the forecast. A couple things that we do have to talk about. There is a chance for some thunderstorms near the coast tonight. Odds are, with this forecast model, it says no, that doesn't happen. But there's the possibility, so we're just going to keep that risk in mind. Download the Fox 10 Weather app just in case so you can get alerts. Coastal areas like Northwest Florida would be the ones that I would want to keep an eye on. Then all of that clears out. Wednesday is very chilly, and then Thursday, Friday, we have another round of rain. A low pressure system pushes in here and brings us that chance. We could get some very beneficial rainfall out of it. How about close to 5 inches by the end of the forecast there? Here's the 7-day outlook. Some very chilly temperatures in between. Wednesday morning, 32 degrees, so a freeze happening with the rain returning at the end of the week. So that's the summary on the forecast. One thing you do not see in this forecast is snow. But
Snow.
Ashlyn, you saw
Yes,
some snow.
I did see snow this past weekend. This picture behind me now, it's coming up in just a moment, but I went home for the holidays to Missouri. We were a part of the Midwest snowstorm that swept across that region. And this is my husband and brother, Landon, right here. It really was a winter wonderland, as you can tell. Like, we had the big flakes falling slowly. We got 10 inches, by the way.
Yeah.
So we almost met our record for that time of year, which was crazy because this was the day after Thanksgiving.
Yeah, big snowstorm it was.
Yeah.
And Hannah was up there too, and she got a lot of snow too. Been talking with her and kind of getting what's happening there. But yeah, there a lot of snowfall.
Beautiful. Yeah, we went sledding, which was awesome. My husband had never been sledding the real way because obviously people down here, when we get a little bit of ice, might try. It doesn't really work as well. Built a snowman, drank lots of hot chocolate, took lots of pictures. But I will say I am very happy to be back because it was fun to visit. When you live there your whole life, it's a mess sometimes.
Yeah, we were talking about scraping off the car.
It's a chore for sure. So, but happy to be back here on the Gulf Coast. Happy to be back with you all. Thanks for watching Fox 10 Midday on your December 1st, rather. We'll see you on Fox 10 Live at 3.